test. Okay, so مساء الخير جميعا. كيف الحال؟ اسمي شيماء الحوسني. I am a media traffic specialist at Vodafone Oman. And today I'm going to be talking to you about advertising, moving beyond mass advertising. Advertising is something that is relatable and very close to every single one of us, in a way we feel or unconsciously. So if I start with a basic question, what is an advertisement you never forget? A nostalgic advertisement, something, when I say advertisement, clicks to your mind eventually. Imagine it in your head. Think of anything that you always remember as an advertisement. If I go with mine, oopsie. Can you play it? It's not working? It's not working? So I think OIB's advertisement is one advertisement that hits all of us once we even hear the song, not even seeing the advertisement itself. Some of us might not have seen it on TV or witnessed it as an advertisement, but recall it from friends, family that have seen it on TV several times. So this type of advertising is mass advertising. It hits everyone in the community, big and small, different ages, no matter from where you are, what your background is. What is mass advertising? So mass advertising, as I mentioned, hits everyone. But it has a wide reach, brand recognition, but it also is very costly and has a lot of ad clutter. So you might see advertisements that are not related to you and are not relevant to you as a consumer. So here I come to another question, which is, are the ads you see relevant to you as a consumer? So when you scroll through your social media accounts or when you go through websites, do you see advertisements that are closely relevant to your hobbies, your interests, etc.? Mostly, yes, if the companies are doing their homework right. So audience targeting today, when we move from mass targeting into specific targeting, we have the importance of relevance. So you see things that are related to you as a consumer. Authenticity, so in this wide world of advertisement, you find something that is related and close to you and personalized. And specific reach, so as a company or as صاحب عمل, you reach your target audience. And of course, you can't manage what you cannot measure. If you have platforms and advertisements all over the place, but you do not have numbers that actually tell you the results of your campaigns, your advertisement would be useless. So today, not like any other time before, we have many tools that can help us do that. Of course, when we come to measuring, the importance of it is understanding the impact of your advertisement. So did you reach your target audience? Are you doing your job correctly? Making data-driven decisions. So now, as I mentioned, in a big world of advertisements and maybe limited resources of money, etc., you have to make the right decisions in order to make the right advertisements. And then identifying areas of improvement and the way forward in your advertisement campaign. So I came across a very interesting book, which is called Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. The book talks about what makes an advertisement stick to your mind. And the authors came to a very important 6 principles of marketing. Can you go back? So the book talks about, back to the book slide. Back. Yes. Okay. One more slide. The clicker is not working. Okay, so for an advertisement to stick to your head, it has to be simple, unexpected, concrete, credible, emotional, and stories. So when I talk about simple, it has to be simple in wording, simple in its the creative itself. It has to be unexpected, something new. As I mentioned, in this diverse world of advertisement, repetitive things do not click to anyone's mind anymore. Concrete, so you go forward to the idea itself, the thought itself and the concept you want to reach to the consumer. It has to be credible for people to trust the idea and to trust the advertisement. It has to be emotional and heartfelt, so if it touches the human heart, it works even more beneficial. And it has to tell a story. So if people understand the story behind the advertisement and understand where the advertisement is coming from, it would make much more of sense to them. These are two examples of some big billboards in the United States. One of them was for an opening in a job, which was a graphic designer. It was very basic, simple, very simple wordings, and sent out to people and had a very big reach and led to a very specific result. The second one is the Nike advertisement, which says, yesterday you said tomorrow, just do it. Very simple words, no creative, no very big colors, very simple, basic, and concrete. One of the stories I like to mention when we talk about simple advertising is an Airbnb listing, which is the most rented Airbnb in the world. I don't know if any of you have heard of it before, but the most booked Airbnb in the world is the Mushroom Dome. The Mushroom Dome is owned by a lady from California called Kitty. So Kitty moved in with her parents in 1984, and they offered her to buy her a land next to their land. And then with the help of many builders in the country itself, they decided to build this small cottage and this small dome. She lived in it for many years. When her parents passed away, all their property was sold. But Kitty decided instead to sell her dome. She decided to rent it out. She looked for several websites to rent her house on, and she found Carriage. When she listed her property in Carriage, she found it wasn't credible. People were booking and then canceling out. It wasn't working properly. Then she found Airbnb, which was only 11 months old at that time. And she listed her property in that. At that time, she was about the 8,000 property listed on Airbnb. With a bulk of many minimalistic, modern, it hit very widely. In a matter of no time, Kitty's property story. And so when we talk about advertising and we talk about today and tomorrow, things are moving very rapidly in terms of technology and advertising. Three main pillars that are related to advertising, and since we're talking technology, are data, AI, and a new concept in marketing called neuromarketing. So if we bring them all together, it takes us to a very new world of marketing and advertising. One very interesting story, and if we talk about it in phases, is a story that happened in the United States with Target. So what happened with Target is that there was a complaint by a father that the store was sending coupons and was sending advertisements to his young boy, a teenage boy, about inappropriate for his age in terms of alcohol, in terms of many other things. And little did the father know that Target understood the behavior of his child more than he did. But they didn't know that through his browse search. They knew that through his credit card purchases and through his Target discount card. And bear in mind that this is 15 years ago, not today. So the way Target knew or understood the behavior of that teenage boy is something very old, and we don't talk about it anymore right now. Today, we're talking about AI and neuroscience combined together. It's understanding the people's perspective, the people's behavior, and then building marketing campaigns based on that. There's a concept or an analysis called the ocean analysis. So the ocean analysis studies every person's personality very clearly, and it's very, very accurate. It measures 5 main points in a person. person's behavior, and it's even called the Big Five analysis. So it focuses on openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeable, and neuroticism. So how social you are, antisocial, racism, anti-racist, all your points and aspects of your personality. One institute that took advantage of this analysis is Cambridge. So when the elections of Trump happened back then, Cambridge sent out a very simple and easy survey out to many people, around 270,000 people. And these 270,000 people agreed to actually fill out this survey. The survey was very easy. What type of band do you listen to? What type of Harry Potter team are you on? Etc. Very easy questions. And with agreeing to answer that survey, you agreed to give Cambridge all your information and data on Facebook. So they did it very legally and very smart. So now Facebook had all of that information and created an ocean profile of every single person that accepted to take that exam. So after that, they created personalized messages for every single person that took that exam to vote for Trump. So for example, if the person was social, if the person was anti-racist, they would get messages that would suit their personality with vote for Trump. Of course, if anyone is interested in taking the ocean examination and understanding their personality, this is a QR code. You can scan it and take it at your own time. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned, when we talk about AI and neuroscience, we're talking about the present, things that are happening right now. But I'm introducing you now to Shudu and Dagny. I bet maybe none of you have met them before. Maybe some of you have seen them. Shudu and Dagny are AI models. They are replicants of actual models that are alive today. But they are actually models that have contracts with many, many brands such as Fendi, Gucci, Tom Ford, etc. And they have very, very big contracts. So imagine if AI can actually create a replicant of my face or any one of you's faces and then use them for anything else. Of course, face IA generator is something that is already there. And if I start to just talk about something that's called the cocktail party effect. So if you're in a party or you're in a very, very busy room, and there are many voices, but you're talking to one person in specific, the only thing that captures your attention is your name. So once you hear your name, you actually turn over your face to listen to what that person's saying. Today we have something called the visual cocktail party effect. So as I say, in the world filled with advertisements, when you open a website and go through many, many advertisements, you actually skip and swipe over and don't focus. Imagine seeing your picture in that advertisement. That will surely capture your attention. You'll surely stop and see that advertisement and focus on it. So the visual party effect is already there, and people are already using it. It might be creepy for other people, but for advertisers and marketers, it's a gem. And they can actually capture people's attention with that. And if we talk about face swap videos, so if we see something static, that would scare us. But if you see your face in an actual video, so imagine going into a movie theater and seeing your face instead of any actor on the movie, or instead of any other person on that video screen. That would scare you. But if we take it into an advertising concept, so for example, in the United States, insurance is very important. And imagine having an advertisement, it would get into a Vodafone perspective. If you were out of Oman and you had no day service, it would hit you differently to take the service. I'm sure many of you have seen this before and clicked accept very easily and very quickly. This is one of the agreement forms that many of you may have took when downloading an application. And this is for one of the many famous apps, which is called Face App. Many of us just click accept and go forward with it. It was trending for this trend. It started with this trend where people started to change their faces and see how they would look when they were older. Face App, with the help of all of us right now, owns more than 150 million digital faces with our consents. So they own it and they have this data and can do and deal with it very easily in their advertisements and sell it. If today I talk about money of concepts, I would say one very important concept. Money is an outdated form of payment. Today, the real form of payment is data. So if something doesn't ask you to pay something, and here I come to my second concept, which is break the addiction of free. Free apps, there's a saying that says there is no free lunch, and there is actually no free app as well. If you sign up to a free app, it means you're giving them something more valuable than money. And it's very funny that most of us spend much more money on their coffee or on many other simple things, but do not actually spend the correct amount of money on privacy. So if I would like to end this talk with something, I would say that in a world of very diverse types of advertisement technologies that are rapidly coming in and out, demand changes everything. So maybe a couple of years ago, organic food wasn't that important and people did not use it as much. But today, organic food is very important. People need it everywhere. And it started coming out very, very much more than any other time before because of the demand. So if people demand more for more private types of apps and more data privacy, that will also happen. Demand is very important from the consumer and it changes everything. I hope you guys are more careful with your data and find advertising much more fun. I think it's a very important topic. Have a read about it. It touches everyone. It's not only important for marketers or advertisers. It's something much more wider and much more bigger. And thank you all for being here. And I hope I was covered the topic as you all wished for. Thank you very much. I'm open for any questions, any thoughts, anything you'd like to say.